Hello and welcome to my League 2 Game Week 36 predictions. No FA Cup this weekend as most teams are out. I think there's one team left in League 2. I will have to go and double check that. But yeah, let's just dive straight into my League 2 Game Week 36 predictions. Last 10 game weeks of the season now. Into the first game on Friday night then, and it is Cheltenham taking on Barrow. Cheltenham do love playing on a Friday night recently against Harrogate as well. In there as well, of course. 3 losses on the trot for Barrow, home to Harrogate, Fleetwood and Gillingham. Cheltenham unbeaten their last 4, 3 draws and a win over Salford City in there, who seem to be playing absolutely dreadful at the moment. Cheltenham did win this fixture earlier in the season in December. 2-1 away winners on that one. Barrow in some real bother down at the bottom of the League 2 table. The level on points with Harrogate now, which has started to get a bit worrying. Although they've actually slipped into that relegation zone. Due to Newport County's win last night over Tranmere. Rovers, Barrow down at the bottom. And they've got 2 games in hand on Newport, mind you, so they'll be looking to win those. But you need the points on the board earlier in the season, I feel. Cheltenham 7 in their last 5. Barrow only scored 4 in their last 5. Have lost in 3 though. Barrow have lost their last 3, sorry. Cheltenham are going to win this. I'm going to go for a 1-0 home Cheltenham win for Steve Cottrell's men in this one and get over the line against Barrow here. 1-0 Cheltenham. 12:30 kickoffs we go. Grimsby versus Bromley is up first at Blundell Park. First sit Bromley in the table at the moment. 69 points for them. They're kind of running away with this at the moment. Has to be said, although did only pick up a point last night at home to Oldham. 2 drop points. You feel Grimsby with a big win over Salford, 3-0 up in the first half, which is pretty good for them, only conceding 1 goal in the end in the second half. Only a point off the playoffs now and a game in hand on the other teams, and a draw or a win would put them back in to the playoff places. It's been the comeback story of the season so far. Grimsby, after their poor run from up till Christmas, I think, then they've been doing very well since. Bromley still sit top of the table though. Earlier in the season, this was a 2-0 home win for Bromley. Last time they played at Grimsby was a 1-0 home win for Grimsby. Scored 7 in their last 5. They've not drawn any of the last 7 against each other. Charles Burnham should not be in that team. He is too good for the League 2. I feel Bromley scored 4 in the last 5, ranked first away from home this season. I'm going to back a 2-2 draw in this one. I think this could be quite the game at Blundell Park. And Sky have actually picked the right game to put on the TV for. It's 2-2 between Grimsby and Bromley here. Salford Barnet now at 12:30. Salford will be looking to respond from the midweek loss away at Grimsby last night. They did beat Colchester at the weekend by a goal to nil. Barnet back-to-back wins for them over Accrington and Chesterfield in the division. Barnet 10th, Salford City 9th. Only a point off the playoffs are Salford. 3 points off are Barnet. A bit of a playoff crunch clash, you could say. This one, 3-1 away winners. Salford City over Barnet on the 20th of December 2025. 2 wins for Salford, 1 draw, 0 wins for Barnet on the head-to-head record. Salford scored 6 in their last 5. Luke Garbutt's created the most big chances, remember, when he was at Everton. Daniel Udo also has the most shots on target per match for Salford City this season. Barnet only scored 4 in their last 5. Their away form has dipped in recent weeks, has Barnet, but apart from that win at Accrington, of course. Salford on some really poor form at the moment, and that's why I'm backing a Barnet away win here. I'm going to go for a 2-1 away Barnet away win here against Salford and Gary Neville. So Barnet to win this by 2 goals to 1 and get that away form back clicking on the road again. So back in Barnet to win this against their playoff rival Salford 2-1. 3 o'clockers now as Accrington take on Cambridge at the Wham. Only 1 win in their last 5 for Accrington. That came away at Tranmere. Cambridge 3 wins in their last 5 matches. Did beat Crawley, Bristol Rovers, Newport, the teams you'd expect them to beat, but they have faltered against Colchester and MK Dons at home. 2nd versus 15th in the table, the 2nd place team going away to 15th place team. Accrington only 2 in their last 5, they've lost their last 3. In a bit of poor form, Accrington Stanley at the moment. Cambridge scored 10 in their last 5, unbeaten for a long while now. Cambridge United, they've won the previous 2 matches against Accrington. They did win this earlier in the season, 2-0, and last time at Accrington last season was 2-1 away win for Cambridge. 6 wins for Accrington, 3 draws, 4 wins for Cambridge. I'm going to back Cambridge to win this. I'm going to go for what it was in December. Could go for a 2-0 away Cambridge win and Cambridge United to get over the line against Accrington and continue that promotion charge towards League One next season. Bristol Rovers versus Crewe now. Steve Evans seems to have dragged his Bristol Rovers side slightly above the drop zones. Don't get me wrong, they're still in and around that relegation fight. Definitely after Newport's win last night as well. Crewe did beat Tranmere, they beat Swindon recently as well. Some big wins for Crewe. Alexandria, and only disappointed loss was at home to Fleetwood. 1-1 earlier in the season between these two sides. 1 win for Bristol Rovers, 1 draw, 4 wins for Crewe. FA Cup result was a 4-2 away win for Bristol Rovers. That was all the way in 12th of December 2023. Last time to play at Bristol Rovers in 2021 was a 1-0 away win for Crewe. Crewe sit just inside the playoffs at the moment, but they've got Grimsby and Salford clipping out their heels with a game in hand and a point behind them. So yeah, that is problematic for Crewe at the moment. They're going to have to win this against Steve Evans' Bristol Rovers. I still think Bristol Rovers are still riding a bit of a storm at the moment. Actually going to back them to win this. I know it's a surprise. I know it might come a bit of a shock, but I'm going to back Bristol Rovers and Steve Evans to go over the line by 2-1 over Crewe in this one. I just sent a big upset here. Bristol Rovers to win by 2-1 over Crewe. Chesterfield versus Shrewsbury next. Shrewsbury did lose their first game in a while at the weekend over Walsall. Unfortunately, lost 2-1 at home there. Chesterfield did beat Colchester by 3-0 before that. They did lose away at Barnet by 1-0. A good win last night, nonetheless, for Chesterfield. Though 6th place for them at the moment. They're a point ahead of Grimsby and Salford, but if them two sides were to win their game in hand, then they would be outside of those playoff places. Just 1-0 away win for Chesterfield over Shrewsbury on the 20th of December earlier in the season. Last time they played at Chesterfield was all the way back in 2017. Was a 1-1 draw in League One. How mental where those sides have been, well, Chesterfield especially, in that time have been. 4 wins for Chesterfield, 2 draws, 1 win for Shrewsbury. This is going to be quite a routine win for Chesterfield, I feel. 6 goals in the last 5. They've conceded the most penalties this season. Shrewsbury 9 in their last 5 due to their decent form at the moment. But yeah, Chesterfield are going to win this quite comfortably. We're going to go for a 2-0 home Chesterfield win over Shrewsbury here. I think they'll have a bit too much quality for Shrewsbury in this one. So yeah, that's why I'm back in Chesterfield to win by 2-0. Crawley versus Swindon is next at the Broadfield Stadium. Crawley 3 losses out of their last 5. Disappointed for them. Did pick up some decent points against Chesterfield and MK Dons in there. Swindon a bit inconsistent under Ian Holloway at the moment. Did draw at home to Bristol Rovers, lost at home to Crewe at the weekend. He'll be still looking to keep his team. Well, they're still very much in the automatic race. It's just MK Dons and Cambridge have 2 games in hand above them. Earlier in the season, 1-0 home win for Swindon over Crawley on the 20th of December. Last time they did play at Crawley, the league was a 3-1 win for Crawley, and they also played in 2024 League Cup, and Crawley won that by 4-2. 9 wins for Crawley, 7 draws, 7 wins for Swindon. Swindon will look to win this, you would feel, definitely, as they need to keep that promotion charge going. I think they're going to drop points, though. I can just sense it here for some bizarre reasons. Scored 7 in the last 5, only average 1.6 goals a game. Alan Drin is the competition's top goal scorer at the moment. Crawley only scored 1 goal in their last 5 matches, which is a bit of a problem. I'm actually going to back Crawley to score. I think there's be a 1-1 draw at the moment. I don't think there'll be a lot to separate these two. And yeah, I think a 1-1 draw is about right for these two. Gillingham Fleetwood is up next. Then Gillingham 1-0 away winners over Barrow. Good away win for them in the 90 plus 13th minute on Saturday. What are you doing adding that many minutes on at the end of the game? Anyway, good away win for Fleetwood over Walsall. Solid win at that one. They will be very happy to get that after probably dropping 2 points at home to Newport at the weekend. Yeah, very good away win last night for Fleetwood in that one. 13th versus 16th in the table. 48 points for Fleetwood, 44 points for Gillingham. Gillingham scored 3 goals in the last 5 matches. Have been awarded 11 penalties this season, 6 goals in the last 5. Fleetwood haven't lost to Gillingham in any of their last 9 meetings between the sides, and Fleetwood haven't lost in 5 matches either. They're riding a bit of a storm at the moment. 2-1 win for Fleetwood earlier in the season over Gillingham. Then back at Gillingham was also a 2-1 away Fleetwood win. 4 wins for Gillingham, 6 draws, 10 wins for Fleetwood. I'm going to sit on the fence though here. I'm going to back a 1-1 draw between these two, as I don't really see a lot separating them. So yeah, 1-1 between Gillingham and Fleetwood. I think it could be quite a tight, cagey game, as Fleetwood unbeaten and Gillingham at home under Gareth Ainsworth can be okay at times. MK Dons versus Harrogate now at Stadium MK then. MK Dons drawing away at Cambridge at the weekend. Probably a decent point for them after they were behind for most of that game until a last minute Collins equaliser from the spot. Aaron Collins, of course, bagging the goal for MK Dons there. They take on a Harrogate side who are actually unbeaten in their last 5, despite them sitting bottom of the League 2 table at the moment. They need to be winning more games to drawing, which is a problem. MK scored 7 in their last 5. They've won the previous 4 matches against Harrogate Town in all the head-to-heads. Haven't lost in 9 either. Harrogate haven't lost in 5, scored 5 goals in their last 5. Yeah, head-to-heads look like this. MK Dons won this early in the season 4-0, and then back at MK Dons was a 2-1 win last season. 4 wins for MK Dons, 0 draws, 1 win for Harrogate. Gonna back MK Dons to win this. I think it'd be a scrappy 1-0 home win for MK Dons over Harrogate in this one. So yeah, I think MK Dons would just get over the line at Stadium MK over Harrogate here by a 1-0. Newport Colchester is up next. Then a big win for Christian Fuchs' side last night over Tranmere Rovers. Back-to-back defeats for Colchester over Chesterfield last night and at home to Salford at the weekend. Not been great to continue their playoff charge. Really, Newport out of the drop zone now for the first time. It feels like this season. To be honest, I don't think it has been this season, but it's pretty much been since August, definitely. 20 seconds at Newport, 12th at Colchester, 12th on 12 points, 10 places separating the sides. Colchester haven't scored in the last 2. They've won the previous 2 games against Newport, though. 6 goals in the last 5 games for Newport County in there as well. Earlier in the season was a 4-1 home win for Colchester United over Newport. Last time they played at Newport was a 2-0 away Colchester United win. 6 wins for Newport, 8 wins for Colchester. Colchester have done pretty well away at Newport in the past. They need to win this to keep the playoff charge alive, you feel. I'm not going to back, or do I? I don't know what. This is difficult to call. I'm actually going to back a Newport home win. I think they'll be right in the sum of that home Tranmere win. I think they're going to win this by 2-1. So, yeah, Colchester on a bit of a downward trajectory. Newport on a real high after the win last night. So, yeah, I'm going to back them to get back-to-back wins against Colchester here by 2-1. Tranmere versus Oldham is next then at Prenton Park. Tranmere 4 losses on the trot for them, not been looking particularly great. Oldham did pick up a decent point away at Andy Woodman's Bromley last night. Of course, 3 wins on the trot for Oldham before that over Crawley, Gillingham and Bristol Rovers respectively. Oldham did beat Tranmere by 3-1 on the 20th of December. 8 wins for Tranmere, 5 draws, 5 wins for Oldham. So yeah, 3-1 win for Oldham over Tranmere. Last time they did play, Tranmere to beat Oldham at their place by 2-0. Yeah, difficult one to call. Tranmere scored 4 in the last 5. They've lost the last 4, which is a problem. Oldham scored 8 in their last 5. Have kept the most clean sheets this season. Very good defence under Mickey Mellon, it does have to be said, so far this season for Oldham Athletic. They've won the previous 2 games against Tranmere, as we've just spoken about as well. It's about time Tranmere got a result, to be honest, but I think this is going to be a bit of a dull affair. I'm going to back a 0-0 draw here between Oldham and Tranmere. I just see it being a bit of a boring affair, this one. So, yeah, 0-0 between these two. Final game is Walsall versus Notts County then at the Bescot Stadium. Walsall, horrible form for them. They did beat Shrewsbury at the weekend, but then they've lost to Fleetwood at home. They seem to be bottling the playoffs. I don't think they're going to be finishing. They started stronger like they did last season, but then just filtered away. And that's exactly what they seem to be doing last time. Notts County did lose at home to Grimsby at the weekend. Their most recent matches they didn't play midweek. 5-0 home win for Notts County before that over a poor Tranmere side. 0-0 draw between these two sides early in the season at Meadow Lane. Last time to play at Walsall on the 3rd of December 2024 was a 3-2 home win for Walsall. 6 wins for Walsall, 5 draws, 4 wins for Notts County. Yeah, Walsall scored 5 in the last 5, a goal a game, haven't kept a clean sheet in 7, 8 in the last 5 for Notts County at the moment. Difficult to call. Yeah, I think Walsall, I think both sides are going to struggle to win this, but I'm actually going to back Notts County to win this. I'm going to go for a 2-1 away Notts County win here at Walsall. I just think Walsall on a real proper downward slide at the moment under Matt Sadler, and it could be maybe his last game in charge. He will be definitely feeling the pressure of the fans if they do lose this at the weekend. So, yeah, backing Notts County to win by 2 cost 1. Thank you very much for watching my Game Week 36 Premier League? No, League 2 predictions. I wish this was the Premier League. Yeah, if you do don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all of that good stuff. And I'll speak to you all on the next one, which will be League 1 predictions probably later on today. So don't forget to stay tuned for that. Hit the notification bell for it coming out as well. So, yeah, thank you all for watching. I'll speak to you all on the next one.